Hello and welcome. Today we're going to go over this guitar right here. It's an ESP E2 Eclipse in Snow White Satin. However, after watching this video, if you kind of like the specs on the guitar, but you don't like this finish, this comes in a variety of different flavors. They normally start around the $2,300 mark and they go up to the $3,300 mark. So they definitely are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. A few things to note about these Eclipses as well. I think in 2024 they kind of had a refresh of the models. So they changed some pickup configurations, and I know they added the stainless steel frets to all models now as well. So the 2024 and the 2025 should be the same specs. However, I did notice comparing 2024 models compared to 2025 models is about a 10 to 25% increase depending on the finish that you get. And then a thing to note before we jump into the specs on this guitar is realistically the majority of them are going to have similar specs to this. Obviously the finish is going to be different, the pickup configurations will probably be different, but as far as a lot of other things, they're going to be pretty identical. So let's just go ahead and roll through this guitar and the specs and see what we're working with. So obviously we're going to have a thinner body, we're going to have a nice contoured cut here, we got the Set-Thru neck, we got the locking tuners, if we flip it around we're going to have, the ebony fretboard, we're going to have stainless steel frets, we have a thin U profile back here, it's a 12-inch fretboard radius, we have the multi-ply binding, we have the nice little ESP inlay there, which is very nice. We also have a bone nut, and I believe it's obviously a mahogany body and neck with a maple cap on there. So it has all that goodness that you want out of a guitar, especially kind of a modern take on a Les Paul, which is, a classic in its own right. And in this version of the guitar, it actually comes equipped with EMG pickups. It's going to have the 57 TW down here in the bridge, and the 66 TW up here in the neck. And it just means I have a lot of tonal variety in this thing, which is great. Because a lot of times, just in general, ESP, LTD, stuff like that get kind of thrown in like, hey, it's a metal guitar. But this one is definitely very versatile for sure. I'm not going to lie, the pickups took a little bit to grow on me because I do have a lot of Fishman-fluence guitars, but after kind of dialing some things in, I really do like it. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into some sounds before we move on to the rest of the video. Wow, wasn't that amazing? So now we're getting into the part where I'm going to express my opinions. And again, it's my opinions, and I think I'm going to have kind of a controversial take coming up here that may not sit well with a lot of people. But initially, this guitar came to me set up flawlessly. I didn't have to do any setup on this whatsoever. It also came to me with no quality imperfections at all. I couldn't find a single flaw on this guitar. Like, no joke. The thin U profile, just with the 12-inch fretboard radius, and the satin finish on the back, wow. Just creamy, smooth, wow. That's all I can really say. Like, I could essentially end the video right now and go, awesome guitar, go ahead and buy it if you got the money, yeah. But I don't feel that's fair, and I'm probably gonna end up selling this guitar. I know you're going, what? You just said it was the perfect guitar. Why would you sell it? Well, basically, it suffers from its own success. It's too perfect. I am someone who likes to buy and sell guitars. So when there's a flavor of the week that's out there, I sell awesome guitars, and I buy what I want to buy. I'm in constant fear with this satin finish that I am going to shine it up, that I'm going to make it unsellable. And I know you're thinking, well, guitars are meant to be played. But yes, I am a studio musician who makes music in his office. I don't tour, I don't do things like that. So my guitars aren't getting beat up. And I'm going to be honest though, I don't even think it's just this guitar. I think it's any satin finish guitar. Even on this Epiphone Prophecy over here I picked up for under $600. I am still fearful of shining that up. I don't think I can own a satin finish guitar, because it drives me bananas. So that is probably really the one negative that I have about this guitar. But I do want to go a little bit further here. And this isn't meant to turn into a whole guitar comparison video, but I think there is just a prestige, holding this. Like, it's made in Japan. It cost a lot of money. Wow, this has to be the best guitar I've ever played. I think there is a little bit of that in here. So if you watch other videos on my channel, you know I love LTD guitars. And this guitar here has popped up a few times. This is like one of my favorite guitars right here. This is an EC-1000T CTM, see-through cherry. I went ahead, changed out the pickups to these gold-plated modern Fluence pickups to kind of have a poor man's Les Paul Supreme. But regardless, I think the EC-1000 series, for the price and the specs you get in it, is just unmatched for the price point and also the quality. Like, don't sleep on the Korean-made guitars. And a lot of specs on the Eclipse are in this guitar. And it cost a lot less money. You could say the Eclipse really eclipsed the price point on these. But I just kind of wanted to go back to the EC-1000 series and just kind of feel it and go, well, what's really the difference? Well, I think the neck feels really fantastic on this too. I think the biggest difference for me is this has a 13.78 inch fretboard radius compared to a 12 on the Eclipse. So it is definitely a different feel in the hand, right? So if you're going kind of for that more modern feel, you can kind of do a little more shredding, then you're definitely looking at one of these LTDs. So I think that's kind of one of the biggest differences there. But as far as quality goes, yeah, I definitely noticed some things on the LTD guitars. You definitely notice, have some, paint run over and some different things here and there. So they aren't as flawless as the one that I got out of the Eclipses. But again, I haven't bought multiple Eclipses. I have bought multiple LTDs. But if the Eclipses are anything like the one I got, then yeah, I'd say the quality control probably is a little bit better. But then you really got to ask yourself though, is it really justifiable to be spending, upwards of another $1,000, $1,500 on an Eclipse? I mean, that's really gonna be per user. I think if you are buying your dream guitar and it's an Eclipse, yeah, then you just go for it and you buy it and you're gonna be happy. So really the only negative though goes back to is a satin guitar for me though. I think if I got a different model, it wouldn't even have been a question, because I really do think it's a premium feel, and I think it plays wonderfully. And I mean, there may be some of that perception in my head, like, well, it's a high quality instrument. Of course it's going to play better. Of course it's going to, do this and that. If you're buying one of these, you obviously save the money or you have the money to do it. So this is why I don't really want to get into the comparison in this video of where you should spend your money. Obviously you're coming for, hey, I'm looking at an Eclipse. I don't care about the LTDs. So long story short, if you get the model you want, if it's poly or if it's gonna just be the satin finish and you're going to play the heck out of it and it's your dream guitar, 100% pick one up. I don't really have any gripes about it except my own personal problems about buying and selling guitars. But yeah, man, I would pit these up against any other manufacturer for sure. They really knock it out of the park with this. So hopefully that was helpful. It was really hard to make this video because there wasn't like really any negative to say about it, and I really didn't want to get into an LTD versus Eclipse showdown, just because if you're watching the video you're not watching for that. In the future, if I still have this guitar, maybe I will do a comparison between LTD and the Eclipses, and heck, even potentially the Epiphone Prophecy, because I really think they share a lot of similarities as well. But again, that's not what this video is for. This is telling you kind of my brief little impression about what I think of this guitar. So if you like this video and you'd like to see more content by me, go ahead and give me a like. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Also, go down in the description, check out what I got going on. I got a lot of stuff down there for you to check out for a guy who doesn't really have a lot of time to do a lot of music stuff. So checking any of that out would really mean the world for me. But anyways, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my video. See you in the next one.